Welcome back to another video. Delighted to be joined by top super welterweight contender Caoimhín Agyarko. How are we, Caoimhín? You well?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Thanks. Hope you're all
Good
good.
stuff. Good stuff. Thanks for coming on. Been training, have we, this morning?
Yeah, not yet. No, I got training soon, and then training tonight. Yeah.
God, weekends are very different for the professional athletes.
I know it's my missus' birthday today as well, so she won't be too happy.
Oh, no, I won't keep you too long then. Get you in the doghouse. I'll start, Caoimhín, before we get into yourself and what's next. First of all, I'll ask you, what actually got you into boxing in the first instance?
Just whenever I obviously was born in London, but my family from Belfast. So whenever my mum and stuff moved to Belfast, she just showed me where my granny's house, which is facing Holy Trinity Boxing Club, and she just literally just brought us, me and my brother, over to show us where my uncle used to fight, and just from then, just put a pair of gloves on that night and never looked back.
Got the bug straight away.
Yeah, I got the bug straight away, and 20
Keep you
years
out of
later,
trouble.
20 years later, I'm still doing it.
Oh, good man. So moving on to yourself then, Caoimhín. Obviously, a bit of a step up, I say, in competition against Troy Williamson last time out. Obviously, you performed really well, got a good solid victory there. That was on the Conlon versus Gill undercard, I believe, was it, in December?
Yeah.
So yes, kicking on from there, obviously, you've campaigned at 160 and 154. Is it safe to say you're going to continue at 154 pounds going forward, is it?
Yeah, I'd say so. The reason I moved down to 154 was because I wasn't a massive 160. So I've only had 2 fights at 154, so I think I'll be competing at like middleweight for a while. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you sort of not that you found it easy to make 160, but you just thought you had 154 in the tank, and the weight cut seemed okay when you moved back down, did it?
Yeah, it was fair. And I think my worry was always that I would struggle to make 154, and I always said at the start of my pro career that I'm not going to do what I did in the amateurs and compete at weights that I had to kill myself to make. But 154 is no problem for me. I make it comfortably, so there's no issues.
Brilliant. So obviously your last few fights are with Matchroom, but you're now promotional free agent, if I've got that right.
Yeah, obviously I had a 5-fight deal with Matchroom. Spent 2.5 years with them there. Yeah, was just out of contract. A lot of people like to say when you're out of contract that you got dropped by Matchroom or you get dropped by this promoter, which isn't true. It was just like my contract with Queensberry when I was with Frank Warren. It was up, and it was time to move on, and it's the same situation now. My contract is up with Matchroom, and we're just exploring other options.
We've seen for the likes of the best example, I think, of it's probably Fabio Wardley. You know, he wasn't tied down to a promoter for age, and he was sort of fighting on any and every show that gave him the best offer, and he had great success. So is that something you'd be open to, or are you looking to hopefully ink a promotional deal with one of the promoters?
I'd either or. Do you know what? It depends what the options are. Like you look at Fabio Wardley, it's someone who's done it very well. Do you know what I mean? He's fought on I think all 3 shows, Matchroom, Boxer, and Queensberry, and he's a free agent, so he can do what he wants. But preferably, I probably would want a promotional deal. It's always good to have that security, and you know you've got the fights coming, and yeah, it's always better to be backed by a promoter.
I saw you tweeted out the other day. Obviously, your manager Paul Reddy obviously spoke to him very recently, and he said hopefully you've got some fight news coming soon. So can we expect to hear from that from yourself soon? Can we?
Hopefully, yeah. I've been told that the news should get confirmed today, so hopefully I can put some news out very soon. Excited about this big show, and yeah, I'll not say too much because I don't want to let it out in case it doesn't happen. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully it comes off.
No, that's fine. I won't let anyone know you're headlining in Saudi then. I'll keep that on wraps for you, don't worry. One question I want to ask you, Caoimhín, obviously, I'm pretty sure you're going to tell me yes anyway, but it's interesting because I know obviously, you know, you love the sport and you got a passion for it, but ultimately it is your income source, so it is a job essentially, I guess. But, you know, do you try and switch off from boxing, or do you watch like most shows, or, you know, what's the way that you attack it when you're not in the gym, or say you're out of camp?
Yeah, I would say I do. I still watch a lot of boxing. I mean, boxing's been my life for 20 years, and that's all I know. So I like watching. I like supporting people. I think most shows nowadays there's either a friend or somebody that I know that's fighting on it. So I always want to, if I can't make it there, I always want to tune in to watch it. So yeah, I'd say I watch a lot of boxing.
Obviously, a great position for yourself to be in. You know, Belfast boxing is thriving again. Obviously, we went through the Carl Frampton era, then went a little bit quiet for a while. Then obviously Mick Conlan was fighting in America, but then he's brought some big shows back. You got yourself now. Well, obviously Lewis Crocker doing a great thing, and obviously your good mate Anto Kakachi winning world gold a couple of weeks ago. I know you were absolutely delighted with that. I'd say you were jumping up and down like a lunatic. Were you watching that one?
I was, I was actually I trained in Liverpool. I was in Liverpool, and I went out with a couple of my teammates to watch it in a bar, and they were obviously all cheering Cordino on, and I was the only one cheering Anto on, and I was jumping up and down, and I was like, I told you all that he would win. So yeah, absolutely delighted for Anto. He's one of the nicest men you could meet, and he truly deserves it because he's had some tough times in boxing, and to continue to train, continue to keep motivated and keep his head down and take his opportunity when he did. It's inspiring. You know what I mean? It goes to show that no matter what your situation is in boxing, whether it's good or bad, if you keep a positive mindset, that you can always keep on going forward and achieve your thing. So fair play to Anto. He's a role model for us all.
Yeah, 100%. You know, a lot of people wrote him off. There's a lot of talk about his age going into that fight and all the rest of it. But, put on an absolute performance of a lifetime. And like you say, sometimes I guess it's inspiration for you going forward. You get handed an opportunity, you got to go and grab it with both hands. And I'm sure you're going to get plenty of them yourself going forward. Obviously, Kevin, you're still young in the game. 27. What's your ultimate goal to achieve in your career?
First Black Irish world champion. That's been my goal since I was 14 years old, to be the first Black Irish world champion. So I know a lot of people say it doesn't, like, why bring race and whatever else into it, but it's nothing to do with that. It's, do you know what I mean? I respect, and I'm honoured to be half Irish, half Ghanaian, but for me, I can create history. So that's my goal. That's my dream to become the first Black Irish world champion.
Fantastic, brilliant. We'll look forward to the fight news dropping soon, mate. We'll keep an eye out for it for you. While I've got you on, I know you were tweeting about it, so you did watch the 5 versus 5 at the weekend. I thought I'd ask you while I've got you on, what did you think of the concept overall? Obviously, promoter versus promoter and that kind of thing, a team element in boxing.
Yeah, it's something different. Obviously, a team element in professional boxing, you're not used to that. Maybe gives you that bit of added kind of motivation, because you're not only just doing it for yourself, but you're doing it for your team, for your promoter. So you don't want to lose. So yeah, I thought it was a very good show. I thought 5 very competitive fights. I didn't see all the outcomes coming out the way they did.
I don't think anyone did, to be fair.
But fair play to the Queensberry lads and Frank Warren. And I'm sure Eddie Hearn will be raging, and I'm sure he'll get a rematch on the go and try and get 5 of his best fighters. So it was a very good show, and fair play to them all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I spoke to Billy Nelson a few days ago, and he was adamant that the fighters couldn't really care about the team element, and they have to kind of say it because that's the hype and the build up of the fight. As a fighter, if you were in that, would you have cared about the team environment, or is it just business as usual? Just your fight and that. So I know the tunnel vision has to be there, kind of thing, but
No, I would definitely say, like, each fighter would be selfish, and not to necessarily say they don't care about the team element, but they will put themselves first and know that ultimately that they have to focus on just getting their job done. Do you know what I mean? And not focus too much on the team. But I know where Billy's coming from. But I would say that there was a bit of added motivation there and pressure, but a bit of added motivation to do it for your team and do it for your promoter, especially like Hamza Shiraz, Nick Ball, and Willie Hudson, Daniel Dubois. All 4 fighters have been with Frank Warren from the very start. Yeah. So they probably felt like they they probably felt like they owed him a win. You know what I mean? He's been getting them on great cards. They're all great champions. He's promoted their careers very, very well. So I would say them lads probably felt that they owed him a win, and that's what they gave him.
Yeah, for sure. You know, people say what the one about Frank Warren. He's on fire at the moment, and he knows how to bring the fighter through from the start of their career to becoming a world champion. I'm sure when you watch them cards, you know, that's obviously where you want to be. You know, you watch them and that adds motivation to you. I'm sure you get the running boots on after the main event finishes.
Yeah, of course you want to be on the big shows, and obviously boxing in Saudi is massive right now, and everyone says about American stuff. But see, to be honest, mate, I don't think there's a better place to fight than Belfast.
Mm-hmm.
My ultimate, if I could have I've never fought in Saudi or America as a pro, but if I could have the rest of my fights and the rest of my career and spend it in Belfast headlining shows, I would do that, mate. The atmosphere and the fight fans over here are unbelievable. The best fans in the world. And yes, it's nice to go away and fight in different arenas and stuff, but Belfast boxing and Irish boxing is unbelievable at the moment, and hopefully I can start headlining big shows back home and bring big crowds and big fights here.
Brilliant. Yeah, I'm sure that's not too far away for you. Obviously, there's a lot made of the atmosphere in Saudi and that kind of thing. So from a fighter's perspective, it's interesting to hear you say, you know, it's all about the atmosphere. You know, you want to perform in front of your people and headline in your town.
Yeah, without doubt. You want to... people probably don't, from the outside who've never boxed, probably don't think it's an advantage. But when you're in there and it's the going gets tough, and you've got, like my last fight, you've got 8,000 to 10,000 Irish fans screaming your name and trying to spur you on. It definitely adds that bit of motivation or that bit of grit to bite down and get the job done. So as much as it'd be unbelievable to fight in Saudi and whatever else, and an unbelievable experience, there's no atmosphere like back home.
For sure, yeah. Troy Williamson's one tough cookie to have walking in front of you as well, definitely.
Yeah, it definitely is.
I had Troy on the other day, actually. He's very complimentary of you as well. Well, what do you think the fight of the night was, Kevin, on the 5v5?
I think the fight of the night was probably Nick Ball versus Ford, but I think performance of the night was Hamza Shiraz.
Yeah, brilliant. Honourable mention for Dubois as well, I'd say.
Yeah, Dubois. Do you know what? Boxing's a funny game, but I think that fight would have went a bit differently if he didn't get cut. Jovetic didn't get cut. I think. Listen, no, absolutely hats off to Daniel Dubois. He came out with a win and he boxed well, because after the first round, I thought it was going to be an early night for him. But he composed himself and he got the job done. But I would have liked to seen it go a bit further without the cuts.
Yeah, definitely. And then obviously, just finishing off the main event, Wilder's lost 4 out of his last 5 now. Shame. It just looks like he maybe can't pull the trigger like he once could.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think that Fury fights would have taken a lot out of him. He's had 40 odd fights, nearly 50 fights now, so he's been around and been in the ring a long time. I know most of his fights have ended in the first round, but yeah, I think the Fury fight maybe just took too much out of him, them 3 fights, and he could well be done now. Listen, hats off to the people that's beat him. They're all elite fighters. Do you know what I mean? Joseph Parker and Zhang, but I think Wilder could be done now.
Yeah, 100%. Well, Kevin, really appreciate you coming on today, mate. Really looking forward to see this exciting fight news. You had a little bit of a glint in your eye when you were discussing that a minute ago, so I'm sure it's going to be the smiles coming back out now. I'm sure it's going to be something you're obviously looking forward to. Hopefully it's in Belfast, and you get to perform in front of your people. I'm sure it's not going to be too long before you're headlining the SSE arena. And I'll definitely be there. And thanks very much for your time today, Kevin. Really appreciate that. Wish you all the best.
No problem at all. Thanks for having me on, mate.
Cheers, Kevin. Take care, mate.
Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.